Funny intro. I can't think of one. Well, that was a movie.
Pew, 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 pew,
Jesus. Oh, God. Hello and welcome back to... I almost said Simon's Rants. I haven't done that in a long time. Ooh. Hello and welcome back to First Thoughts Podcast. I'm Simon. This is Rants.
Hey.
And today we're giving our first thoughts on The Bride. There's an exclamation point in the poster, in the title. I feel like I have to say it. It was written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and it's starring Christian Bale, Jessie Buckley, Peter Sarsgaard, Penelope Cruz, and Jake Gyllenhaal. He kept coming back. I thought it was funny, haha, look, it's my brother role. No, he just kept coming back, and I was like, go away, you're not important to this plot. What are you looking up?
Maggie Gyllenhaal. I forgot to look up.
She's mostly an actress. Okay. She was the second Rachel Dawes in the Dark Knight trilogy, the one who replaced Katie Holmes.
Okay.
That's what most people, I think, our age would know her from. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, she is also the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal. She's directed, I think, before. I don't know, not a lot, though, if she has. I don't feel like fact-checking because I'm tired.
That's fair.
Anyway, so if you don't know what this movie's about, it's I was going to say modern take, but it's not. It's the 1930s, but it's a modern, compared to the original source material, take
modern themes.
On The Bride of Frankenstein, kind of. They take a lot of liberties, and, you know, just when I didn't think Mary Shelley could spin in her grave any faster... Boy, does she. Yeah, if you thought that Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was insulting to the source material, not that there is source material. I don't think The Bride of Frankenstein was ever a book. I think that was just Hollywood sequels anyway.
Yeah,
but
I hadn't heard anything about a book.
If Mary Shelley was proud of that story, she'd probably be frustrated with this one. Not to say that it's utterly without either good moments, interesting ideas. I think there's a lot good about it, but there's even more very, very wrong about it. But it's always entertaining. I'll give it that. There's always something to behold.
Yep.
I really don't quite know how I feel about this other than wow. Reminded me a lot of Joel Schumacher's Batman. Reminded me a lot of the Joker Part 2.
I did feel some Joker Part 2 in there, yeah.
And with to compare it to Joker Part 2, I left the theater feeling very similarly when I went, that could have and should have been amazing in a lot of ways. And there was still remnants of some good ideas in there. But holy hell, what the hell happened? And, yeah, Justin, how are you feeling?
I gotta say, this movie had me torn towards the first half, mostly. I was all over with the score. You know, I had a range. I'll get to the range later, but I had a range. And I was really bouncing between... And about halfway through, when I finally looked down at my phone and realized we still had about an hour left in the movie.
I know. I know. Me too.
I was locked in on my score. And I am firmly settled on this is the worst film I've watched with you.
Really? Okay, that's fascinating to me. Because it certainly had some really bad moments. I wouldn't say it's the worst.
I think it might be.
Wow.
I think it might be.
You didn't like anything about it. I really liked some things about it, actually.
Most things I liked about this film, I...
liked ironically?
They were so bad, I loved them.
I see,
There were some interesting artsy ideas, but it kind of felt to me like...
that's not what I'm going to defend. I think the artsy shit was terrible.
Okay, good.
That was the worst part of the movie.
It just felt like somebody's like an art club in college, and they came up with some idea.
It is a classic. An actor thinks that they can write and direct when they can't, and you're like, you're an actor. It's like stay over there. Stay on that side of the camera.
They explain the idea to the other the troupe of actors that they were
Yeah,
all
I'm like,
working with.
"Whoa."
And yeah, no, they were all deeply
We loved
impressed. It was so deep and moving and philosophical.
And well, the commentary.
Oh yes, yes.
Sure, okay. This may be. It's in contending for Jesse Buckley's worst All Men Suck movie. This and Men. Yeah, hand in hand, where we're just going to say all men suck and then pretend that's deep. And also we're going to equate feminism to shouting "Me Too" in the climax of this movie. Holy hell. I was like, it kept stooping lower and lower with the commentary, so that when they finally did shout "Me Too" twice in a row just to make sure it hit, there was many moments that left me with my mouth legitimately dropped, gaped open, and that was one of them, where I was like, wow. Not only is it just really cringy and tacky, you're several years too late to be doing the Me Too thing.
Hey, it's never too late.
Okay.
The movement lives on forever.
Right. You are right.
All movements live on forever.
I did fact check it though. Electric vacuums did exist in the 30s. I was skeptical. They did. Because that maid busted out an electrical vacuum and I went, really? Really? And then I looked it up and they were invented in like the 1910s. And I was like, okay, you get by this time.
That's not going to knock the score up a points, but,
Actually now, I think it's a good movie.
I give it a speck of credit now.
Okay, so I would like to take a moment to talk about the parts I unironically liked, because you seem to think there's absolutely nothing good in this, and that's fascinating to me because I think that there are some good things, and I want to start with Christian Bale. Christian Bale will never be bad. I don't care how bad the movie is. That's another movie this reminded me of. Thor: Love and Thunder. This reminded me of that as well.
Oh, God.
Because the whole time I'm going, imagine this performance in a good movie. That's all I'm thinking every time I see Christian Bale. Because his Frankenstein, and they call him Frankenstein, but they give it a good reason, and that he took the name of his father. And I'm like, that is a valid reason to call him Frankenstein. I accept actually calling the creature Frankenstein for once.
Okay.
Good job, guys. But his version of Frankenstein was subtle at times.
At times.
The performance wasn't always. The emotion was. The delivery wasn't always. But anyway, it was nuanced and it was unique in that it wasn't taking a strong stab in any one direction. Like, there's some very clear callbacks to other versions of Frankenstein, including Young Frankenstein. There's a lot of references to that. Have you ever seen Young Frankenstein?
I'm not sure that I have.
Mel Brooks, the comedy.
It sounds very
Gene
familiar,
Wilder.
but I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh, Frankenstein. They even say Frankenstein and it goes Stein. They do that. This is spoilers, I guess, but fuck it. He dances to Putting on the Ritz. That is straight out of Young Frankenstein. That's like the big comedy number everybody knows from that movie. And I'm like, you're referencing a comedy parody of Frankenstein?
Of course.
In this? And that's where I was like, this is getting Batman and Robin territory. Like, seriously. But I'm going to stop with spoilers because we're not in spoilers yet. But anyway, long story short, I thought Christian Bale had some really good moments, both in the subtle moments and when this movie does choose to go up and over the top. I don't hate this movie for choosing to do that. I think this movie could have worked as a wacky comedy kind of thing, or just a wacky, not comedy, but just a wacky indie weird movie if they had chosen to do it right.
Oh, sure.
And so I enjoyed Christian Bale basically throughout. I would say 90% of his performance I enjoyed. Jessie Buckley, I'd say half of her performance I enjoyed, because when they distinctly, I don't know if we can say this because I think it's a spoiler, but like, she essentially plays two characters. One could argue three even.
Yeah.
And I really hated a choice that they did. When the movie and the plot and the character were not affected directly by that choice, the movie was a million times better and her performance was great. When she had to do that shit, it was god-awful. So I think she was good about half the time. Lastly, and yes, there's only 3 things I like about this movie. Okay, that's not true. The dance number that I already mentioned, Put It on the Ritz, phenomenal scene. Phenomenal 10 out of 10, no notes. I love that scene so much. You'll notice I was all the way down the bottom of my seat that start, and I was like, okay, I'm locked in. What are we doing? This is so fun. It's so stupid, and I love it. Anyway, but I actually legitimately like the character designs, because once again, Frankenstein is very kind of subtle. You know, when you compare it to, like, what they just did with him in the Guillermo del Toro, where he looks like Gautier in Somebody That I Used to Know. And this is like, it's very clearly the, you know, the 1930s Frankenstein movie monster.
Right.
But more realistic and more modern. And I'm like, I like that choice. I like the design. The Bride of Frankenstein, they took even further away from the original source material and really Harley Quinned her, I guess.
Yeah, no,
and
I agree.
I really enjoyed her character design as well. I liked a lot of the design and look of this movie. And that's where I'm leaving it. Those are the things I enjoyed about this movie.
Okay, let me tackle these one by one.
No, fuck you.
Listen. I will give Christian Bale that I enjoyed him at least towards the beginning. And there were still some moments later on in the movie. But there was a lot of choices that they made him make, I believe.
Well, see, that's not Christian Bale's fault. I think the writing is at fault.
I'm not blaming him for
the
the
writing is shit.
He was solid.
Yeah.
But my gosh, some of the stuff they made him do
Oh, the writing was dog shit.
just made me just
I'm not defending the writing.
hate looking at him.
Holy hell. Jesse Buckley.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Same thing. Writing, dog shit.
Oh gosh, writing terrible.
Worse than dog shit. What's worse than dog shit? Horse shit. No, horse shit's actually a lot less bad than dog shit. This is when a dog eats cat shit and then vomits it. That's what her writing was.
Listen, your dog got in the trash, all right, and they just got the liquid shits.
Ooh.
All right, that's what this is.
Then another dog ate it and threw it up.
Damn straight. Yeah, no. Some choices for her character.
And we didn't even met. Oh God.
Absolutely awful.
Penelope Cruz and Peter Sarsgaard are maybe the 2 worst characters I've ever seen in film.
I hated them so much.
And I'm not speaking facetiously. They are 2 of the worst characters I have ever seen on film. And guess what else they did? They made Penelope Cruz not hot. How do you do that? How do you make me not enjoy seeing her?
Oh my gosh, I was happy for their scenes because they were so bad. They were solid at times. The overall plot, my God, it worsened the story as a whole.
Yeah, it did.
But my gosh,
they were written so badly
dumb.
That
worst.
I think it made me forgive the main plot, like the A plot. The B plot was so bad, it made me forgive the A plot.
It does make the A plot look a bit better.
Yes, it did. And that's why maybe my rating is going to be askew. And I'm saying that I legitimately have no idea. When we get to the what are we rating it, I'll find out then. Because I have no idea what I'm giving it now.
There's literally only one other spot my thing can go. I don't know if it's going to reach there. But I'm feeling fairly locked in on my number here.
What? It's 2 or 1, I'm assuming.
Well, it's not a 1.
No, it's not so bad it's good?
Listen. For the first, I want to say 45 minutes. My gosh. Some of those, the black and white scenes, let's call it that. Oh my gosh. Putting on the Ritz.
I was in black and white.
No, but just it fits into why I thought
the Batman and Robin.
Why I thought this was gonna be a 1, and I thought I was gonna walk out of this like, oh my gosh, finally a true 1. And then I looked down, and there was still an hour and 20 minutes left in the movie.
It's a little long. It is a little long.
And yeah, no, it's a 2.
So bad it's good. So bad it's good. You want to be a tight 80, 90 minutes. This is over 2 hours.
Oh my gosh. I knew that coming in, and I was very, very aware from like the 50 minute, hour mark.
Mm-hmm.
Just constantly wondering, when is this gonna end here?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's a 2. Maybe we get to a 3 from talking about it. I doubt it, but maybe. It's just not so bad it's good enough for me to give it a 1, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like the first 45 minutes where I was really bouncing between a 2 and like I was gonna come in and say 1.5. Oh yeah, no, Jesse Buckley. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give her a quarter of her performance, in my opinion.
That's probably fair.
I didn't.
She is. Oh, she's an overactor, but she's gonna win the Oscar because she's won literally every other award so far. Not for this, obviously, for Hamnet.
Oh yeah, no, I did see that was her in Hamnet, and I can definitely see her winning that in Hamnet.
I still think she overacted, but nobody. There was no good lead actresses this year. That's why she's sweeping. There was actually very few actors across the board that were worthy of best acting or supporting acting.
Yeah.
It's like best male supporting or best supporting actor is the only category that's stacked because you've got Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, I forget the guy's name, but the guy from Sinners. It's like that's a stacked category.
Oh yeah.
And then every other acting category is weak as hell this year. It's weird.
Damn.
Like the best lead actor. Timothée Chalamet, Michael B. Jordan, and DiCaprio. And it's not even like a great DiCaprio. And it's like, it's a weak year. It's a weak year. Because nobody even talks about the other two, Ethan Hawke and...
Wagner?
Oh, yeah. I didn't see his movie. I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet either. I might see it when it drops in theaters, maybe if I have time. I don't know if I will, but...
Yeah.
I remember his name because I watched Narcos.
Yeah. Anyway, then lead actress, yeah, it's Jessie Buckley, Emma Stone for Begonia. Yeah, and I love Emma Stone, but for Begonia? Anyway.
Oh, yeah, the design. I will say I did enjoy Frankenstein's design. It really...
Not her design?
Hers was...
Harley Quinn.
Hers was definitely Harley Quinn-esque.
Yeah.
It wasn't... It was all right at the beginning. I didn't really love it or hate it.
Mm-hmm.
By the end, I don't want to say exactly why.
Gimmicky.
Yeah, I was very tired of it by the end.
See, I don't blame the design for that. I blame the plot for that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the plot's fault, but I didn't love the design.
Dude, when I found out that her tongue was all black too, I was like, damn. I don't know why that did it to me, but it did it to me. Oh, you know who else was one of the absolute worst characters I've ever seen in film? The Doctor. She was so bad. Just about every side character in this movie, every character but the two leads, were the worst written characters you have ever seen in your life.
Yeah, that's really true. But especially those cops.
Yes.
The detective and his secretary.
Like,
oh my
laughably
gosh.
parody level bad.
Yeah.
Like, if I saw them in, like, epic movie, it would fit in. Or Scary Movie, where the lady's hat just keeps getting bigger in every shot. It was akin to their performance in this. And, like, I like Penelope Cruz, okay? Peter Sarsgaard is also good. What happened? Just terrible writing and terrible directing. I know what happened, but what the fuck?
You know what this is?
What?
So.
He took the hood off.
Yep.
He took it off.
I grew up with a style of TV show that I loved. Right? TNT, CBS, USA, they all had them. Right? At different times.
Okay.
I called it Sherlock Plus. No, maybe I stole that, but still. It's just basically your main character is Sherlock Holmes plus some quirk, right? You had Psych. Yeah. He's Sherlock Holmes plus he's pretending to be a psychic, and I guess he got trained by his father to be hyper observant. You know, Monk is Sherlock Holmes plus he's got a bunch of phobias that he has to constantly.
He's OCD.
Yeah, OCD. He's got a lot of things. OCD is one of them. He's got a ton of stuff too.
Well, they're.
Yeah, I know it's
from that. Technical, it's from OCD.
Yes,
okay?
Yes, I know.
OCD makes you a germaphobe or can.
But he's Monk, Sherlock Holmes plus the OCD.
Monk was my favorite of the detective series. I loved Monk.
It was great. I think it was the best written. It wasn't my favorite, but it was like top 3 for me probably,
Yeah.
and I think it was the best written.
Yeah. House. He's a detective, but he's a doctor.
Exactly.
And
See?
he's also
he's
a
Sherlock
dick.
Holmes, but he's a doctor.
Also, did you know that's why he's called House? Holmes, House.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then Watson is Wilson.
I didn't catch that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. It's Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, but like all those shows are Sherlock. But The Mentalist, he's Sherlock Holmes,
Yeah.
but now he's not pretending to be psychic anymore. He's just admitting that he can cold read people really well.
Yeah. My mom loves every show we've mentioned so far, by the way.
Yeah, same. I grew up on all of them. Me and my mom used to watch most of them.
Yeah.
Love that series. The detectives in this felt like you took an entire Sherlock Plus TV show
But like,
and then condensed it into 2 hours.
except for the side characters that show up halfway through the movie. So it's like half an hour. You get half an hour of them. So hey, a weekly episode. But here's the problem.
The entire show's premise in one.
Here's the problem, though. They feel like that. They feel like a YouTube parody of that.
Yeah, kinda.
That's what it felt like. Ryan Higa back in the day. That's what that felt like. Jesus. It was so bad. And it also had to tie into the dumb, like... I am a feminist, okay? I hate dog shit feminism in movies. I made a whole video about this on my other channel.
I'm sure that was well received.
Actually, it was.
Oh, there you go.
For the most part. But the funny thing is, the premise of that video is, I hate when male writers and directors make feminist movies because they always get it wrong.
Yeah.
Let the women make the feminist movies because they'll get it right. Maggie, you've been sidelined. Never make another feminist movie again, please. Because the commentary was dog shit. The writing, dog shit. And the depth of any subject matter you talked about, dog shit. You could write the fucking like mission statement of this movie on a napkin. Nay, you could take the napkin and rip it like that, take the small part and write it on it. That's the movie is so shallow that a drunk asshole who fell face first into it could not drown in it.
Listen,
It's so shallow that a fucking ant couldn't drown in it. A mouse would go thirsty trying to drink from this puddle of a movie. Say something with actual thought, please. Because the whole movie felt like that one scene from Barbie where she's getting up and preaching, going like, well, because don't you hate when men... But just imagine that for 2 hours.
I had something else I was going to say, but I know you don't watch the Marvel TV shows, but have you ever heard of the ending to the Captain Falcon?
Oh, I thought you were
one?
going to say She-Hulk, but okay.
Well, I mean, She-Hulk was terrible too,
Yeah.
and the
You've
fourth
never
wall-
had to deal with your emotions. Hulk,
But that was episode
you know,
one.
the guy who, like, famously has trouble dealing with
That was episode 1, though.
learn how to control them and harness
All right.
them.
No, I'm talking, the endings here. It was really driving a message home by really ham-fisting it. Captain Falcon has its ending where he's
Captain Falcon.
yeah, that's
Wrong guy.
That's what we used to call it.
Falco, pa!
He's Captain Black American Falcon.
Blacked in America, thank you very much.
Whenever we heard he was becoming Captain America, we've never called him by his regular name ever again.
Who's we? Don't bring me into this.
Me and my other friends, we're all minorities. It's okay. It's cool, guys. But he's talking to like U.S. senators or politicians at the end, and he's just giving a speech to them like, "You guys need to do better. That's why everything's so bad right now, because you guys don't do better. So do better."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he flies off. And it's like, this is kind of that for the whole movie. Do people enjoy having your message just sledgehammer, just over and over?
You know what? Actually, some, because dumb people. Because there's a certain audience that will not get a message unless that is how it is presented. And so that select small group of people, because it is small, that's probably about 10% of people that will watch this and go, oh, yeah, that's right. Women power. Sound like Scrappy-Doo there. Puppy power.
Oh, God.
And probably blew out the speaker just then. Yeah, but like other than that, and other than like, you know, people above the age of like 12, this ain't it, you know? Like, you could have eliminated every word said in this movie and it would have made the feminist messaging better. Yep. Because it's improvement, it's addition by subtraction, because you could just show the shit happening. The fact that, you know, somebody like Frankenstein would demand a bride without thinking for 1 second about how that person would feel, that is begging to be a feminist message. But by ham-fisting it, you just destroy any credibility. And then when you dumb it down to just like, oh man, all men are stupid. This detective, he's only a detective because his secretary is smart. How the fuck did he get the job in the first place? Men won't listen to women, so the only way women detectives can get anywhere is when they ask the other woman, because then they'll get somewhere, because that's where the brains are. So let me go over, there's all these police that nobody's listening. I'll talk to this random woman over here, that's how I get my intel.
Not that part, because I guess, are we in spoilers now, or are we just...
No. To be fair, we haven't spoiled anything yet, really.
That's fair.
We're just saying it's dog shit in as many ways as we can. Except for the word dog shit has come up a lot. That we've said that particular word a lot.
Listen, it is the tagline for the movie.
Dog shit?
Dog shit.
Oh. I missed that on the poster.
It's there. You gotta just get really close.
I thought it was puppy power.
I got a couple of different posters, alright?
Oh, God. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so tired. We could have watched Hopper. Or Hoppers.
Hopper looks so much more interesting.
I thought this might be good.
No, I totally knew we were watching this. Like, this was a guarantee that we were watching.
Did you think it might be good?
I didn't think it'd be this bad. I thought it would be at least middle of the road.
Yeah, I thought like 6.5, and then it might surprise me and be a 7.
Yeah, no, I was definitely not expecting to give it a 2.
All right, so you heard it here, folks. He's giving it a 2. This is the weird place that I'm in. Is that part of me wants to give it a 5, but it's not forgettable at all.
No.
It's just, to me, I enjoyed a lot and I hated a lot, so it's like it canceled each other out, but I'm going to remember the shit out of this movie. Yeah. And so it's like, well, did I enjoy myself more than I didn't? Kind of, but I can't give this a positive rating. So what the fuck do I do?
4.5.
5.5? 4.5? That's why I'm like, I'm lost. I've never been this lost.
This movie has broken the rating scale.
It has.
It is now its own rating.
This is probably the first one yeah, okay, I'm not giving it a number. What I'm giving it is like a... Oh! Oh!
This movie will go down in history as the benchmark for other movies here. All right.
The crazy thing though is the movies. If you can remember the beginning of this podcast, can you remember that long ago when I compared it to Batman and Robin? Some of the worst movies of all time. Movies that I readily give a 1. Then I should probably give this a 1. Because if I genuinely... But like, I loved my experience watching this movie. But part of it was unironically. That's the confusing part. I really actually enjoyed some parts a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. Like, if I could cut out an hour of this movie, I'd give it a 6. But that's a lot of shit you gotta cut out to get there.
It is about half the movie, yeah.
Yes. Maybe a little bit more. But if you cut it down to, honestly, you could cut this movie down to 80 minutes and it would be okay.
They didn't do that, though.
They didn't.
Not quite.
So I'm somewhere between a 1 and a 6.
It's a small range.
All right. We're going to get into spoilers now. So if you don't want to get spoiled, why are you here? Go watch it, come back, and we can talk about them. But don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and also catch us on TikTok where we post funny content sometimes. Thanks. Bye. So, spoilers. So, yeah, the elephant in the room that we were alluding to as far as the main, I mean, there's a lot, but the issue with this movie is what the fuck were they talking about? This movie starts immediately with the spirit of Mary Shelley saying, I never got to write the book I wanted to write because I got a brain tumor and died. But if I could have, I would have written The Bride of Frankenstein. That's the shit I would have written. That's what I would have done.
That would have been my sequel.
And so since I couldn't do that, I'm going to possess women.
Just, I guess, I'm a possess one, and then I'm gonna make her my bride.
But then it's not just going to be me in here. It's going to be all the women who were murdered in here, rattling around in their brain.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'll do most of the talking, though.
Do all the talking.
Yeah.
And you want to know how you show that somebody is not only really smart, but a writer? Mm-hmm. Just make them throw out words that vaguely sound similar and rhyme and are sometimes synonymous. That makes you sound really smart, right?
Of course. Just constant connection.
And you know why they did it, though? The whole movie, I was like, why are they doing this? And then it became clear in the last 15 minutes. Because she said, I am revolting. And he said, no, you're beautiful. And she said, I'm not revolting as in that. I'm revolting as whatever synonym she came up with. But like, fighting back, doing this, doing that, revolting. And I was like, that's why this whole movie, they had her shouting out random synonyms and words and bullshit. Yeah. So they could make the play on the word revolting. That was the entire reason they did that. The entire fucking reason. Holy hell. We wrote a 2-hour movie just to say that one thing.
Yeah.
And then also shout Me Too a couple times.
Listen, when you have a clever line, you have to
He did
use
air
it.
quotes for the listeners. For the listeners. He did air quotes around clever line.
You have to use it.
Anyway, so the movie starts that way, and then we get to see some girl named Ida.
Yep.
Who is at this, like, frou-frou roaring 20s party in the 1930s. Don't ask me why. I guess some remnants left over from the 1920s.
People like those clothes.
Also, this is clearly, like, what gay French people imagine the 1930s looked like. I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
It's the 1930s if there was no depression.
If there was no depression, but a lot of depression, a lot of drugs, gay minorities, and
they were there somewhere.
They were dead. They weren't partying.
We just weren't recording their histories. Like that.
Yeah. Anyway, throw that out the window. Who cares? But like, you see her die, and then we cut to
a crazy death scene.
Because she gets possessed by the spirit of Mary Shelley. She vomits up an oyster. Starts saying some really confusing and sometimes disturbing things.
Yep.
Crawls on the tables. Talks about being, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. Rah.
Wasn't it at that point, too, where she starts She starts talking about the one guy at the very least. I thought she started pointing out some other people too.
Yeah,
like talking about like their crimes against women.
Yeah, there's like a Weinstein that she's pointing out and saying.
I guess that's all like the dead women in her head now.
Because he not only kills women, but specifically he cuts their tongues out. It's a big thing.
Yeah, keeps them in jars.
I missed that. He does that?
No, the jars behind him.
Oh.
Where all the tongues.
I missed that. Anyway, when did they show that?
When he was on screen, he was ordering the other guy. You know, he was like, "Go out,
bang, bang, bang.
Bring me." yeah. That scene. There was some jars with tongues.
There was so many times I just covered my face during this movie. So, okay, so he had these two. This is relevant because he had these two guys kill her. And they do by pushing her down a staircase where she breaks her leg, breaks her neck, hits her head on a thing, probably breaks her skull. Anyway, she dies.
Yep.
So they're fully confident. Yeah, we got her, boys.
Of course.
And then cut to 40 minutes to an hour later in the movie. And she's on the front page of the newspaper for some shenanigans she and Frank got into. And so he slaps it down and was like, I thought you took care of it. Like, we did take care of it. And then he's like, didn't look like you took care of it. And he's like, trust me, boss. We took care of it. And so he pulls out a pistol and goes like, ha ha ha, bang, bang, bang. And he goes,
that was just the greatest reaction to seeing a gun.
It was so quickly edited, too. You had no time to react to anything before it happened.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, like, you couldn't even laugh at him making the gun noises before he was shot dead. And then by the time you finally crawled out from underneath your chair to see what was happening on the screen, the other guy's talking about his baby. I'm like, what did I miss? Oh my God. It was one of the most whiplash-inducing movies I've ever seen.
It was crazy.
And I don't mean because sometimes it was this way, sometimes in that way. It was like J.K. Simmons was screaming in my face the entire time. That's what this felt like. Anyway, cut back to Mary Shelley's Spirit. This movie was legitimately 10 times better every time I forgot that was a thing. And then she would just keep coming back, and I'd be like, oh, fuck this again.
No, I was dying. Like, the first time that happened, I was so very confused, and it kept happening, and I was dying every time it happened. I think it was good.
What did that have to do with anything?
But she's gotta possess her and take control of the story and, you know, narrate for us a little.
You gotta, yeah, because feminism is a demonic spirit that possesses you. And makes you act like an idiot in public in the name of not taking shit from anybody.
No, that's just Mary Shelley. That's just her.
What makes you think Mary Shelley was anything like this? This is the same thing that we talked about with the Frankenstein movie, Guillermo del Toro's, where it's like, you clearly do not understand this person or her writing if this is your takeaway. She was not this person, nor did she preach this message. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you talking about?
See, that's why you gotta toss in that little disclaimer. You know, any likenesses, any similarities to people real or past or present.
Don't get sued by her descendants if she has
fictional.
any. Her family. God. It was just fucking wild, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
And so it's like this movie, if you cut out everything to do with Mary Shelley.
I agree.
And cut out the first scene, we didn't need to see her die. That could be a plot twist when we actually, because we could just not know who she is. They dug up a random grave. And then when we find out, if you want to keep in this whole plot line of her working with the cops, because that's fun, because somebody needs to recognize her. That happens in all of these plots. Anytime somebody comes back to life, assumes a new identity, somebody eventually recognizes them like, aren't you, I know you. And that's when all shit falls apart, you know? Right. And it's like, that's fine. You could have her be this, you know, person working with the cops or whatever. I don't care. That's fine. But we shouldn't know it from the beginning. Like, we shouldn't know she was involved in this shit. We should just not see her until she's out of the grave. And it shouldn't be Mary Shelley. You cut out about half an hour of this movie that way, it's immediately a 6 to me. I enjoy this movie, unironically, if you do that. There's still issues with it, but I enjoy this movie if you do that.
You still got a couple of cops
You still got to get rid of these cops.
Yeah.
if you get rid of the cops, well, or just make them normal fucking characters.
Listen, at the very least, kill off the secretary angle. Either make her...
Just make it a shitty cop.
Yeah.
Who doesn't, like, is a scummy cop, like a crooked cop. Make him less of a whiny douchebag, and just make him more cocky and arrogant, like he was in the first scene, until you realize, it's just an act. I'm not really that. I'm just this guy who mopes around and cries a bunch. If you just go with, like, the more stereotypical angle with the cop, crooked cop, you get rid of Penelope Cruz. Sorry, she added nothing to this movie.
Literally nothing, and it's just the worst, the most... The word's, I think, ham-fisted, right? The most ham-fisted...
Shoehorned,
feminism message in the movie. I swear, it is exactly the sort of, like, Lifetime movie plot, TV show plot, but she's the main character, where we've just wrapped it up in half an hour instead of, giving it 4 seasons before it gets canceled or some shit.
But you do that, this movie becomes a 7. Then you fix the stupid doctor with the terrible dialogue and the awful acting. This movie becomes a 7.5. And then you make all of the commentary more subtle, and you make everything unsaid, just shown. This movie becomes an 8. Oh my God, we just rocketed to the moon by just doing less. Sometimes less is more. Say less shit. It'll go better for you. But hey, if you want to make it wacky and zany and fun and stupid, go for it. I'm into that. Like I said, them having that dance in the middle of the movie for no fucking reason. It actually had a reason. But everybody else joining in, no fucking reason.
Because,
like,
them getting possessed into the dance.
They got possessed. They went full fucking Beetlejuice Soul Train.
Yeah.
It was fucking wild. I guess I could have just said the first Beetlejuice, but that was the more prevalent moment because it was shit. The one in the first Beetlejuice was good. Anyway, but like, he starts dancing because I mentioned Jake Gyllenhaal keeps coming back in this movie for no reason. Also, love Jake Gyllenhaal. He was terrible in this movie. Awful in this movie. I love him to death. Awful in this movie. He's supposed to be this 1920s, 30s actor, and they keep showing scenes of him in these old black and white movies, not remotely doing an impression of old style acting at all. And the person he's acting alongside with is trying a little bit, but not a lot. He's just like modern acting in a 100-year-old movie, supposedly. I'm like, this is dog shit. Terrible. Stop it.
That's just what the style was like in their world,
Transatlantic accent. Woohoo. Anyway, but Christian Bale, or Frankenstein, has a really actually lovely, barely said thing. His obsession with this actor, I forget his name, but Jake Gyllenhaal, is because early in the movie, he shakes the hand of the doctor and he says, that is the first time in my life I've ever shaken anybody's hand. And it was amazing. Also, by the way, Christian Bale, how he achieved the voice for this movie was he would just scream himself hoarse every morning. I saw that in a behind-the-scenes video on Instagram. Wow. So I was thinking about that during this movie.
See, I didn't know that, but I can see it. Then
the rest of the cast and crew started joining in with him every morning, and they would just start screaming. Anyway,
I want to see those bloopers now. Why weren't they in the credits?
But, and Christian Bale went full Batman in one scene, which was great, when he killed those two guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, just doing the full Batman grunt and growl thing, and I was like, there he is.
Swear to me!
Vengeance! But anyway, where was I? So he has very strongly, not only is he just like, I've never had a lover or a partner, he's like, I've never had a friend. I've never had a connection with anybody. So to him, up until that moment, the greatest connection he ever had was he went and saw this actor back when he was in vaudeville, and he smiled at him. So to him, he is the most important person in the world to him because he smiled at him one time. Nobody ever smiled at him before. And so he's obsessed with this guy. I'm like, that's a great storyline. And now he actually finally gets to meet him, and Jake Gyllenhaal goes like, okay, you're creeping me the fuck out, understandably, because he's like, I'm alive because of you. And it's like,
1917. You smiled 1917.
At me. I still have the ticket because I love you. And Jake Gyllenhaal's like, well, you're not my type. And turns around and leaves. Yes, he's Jim
not his
Carrey in this
type.
movie. By the way, speaking of Jim Carrey, there was some very Jim Carrey deliveries from Jessie Buckley in this. Oh my god. Anyway, it was only when she was possessed. That's when the very first thing when she first gets possessed the first time and she's at dinner. I don't know what she said, but she just like goes like upright and she's like, nah. And I'm like, Jim Carrey, welcome. I didn't know Mary Shelley was Jim Carrey. Anyway, anyway, so then Christian Bale, or Frankie, I know the character's name, I can call him that, is like hurt that he's rejected by this guy, his hero, so he wants to show him, no, I do fit in with you. So here, let me show you that I've memorized your dance. So he starts to do the dance, and then the bride comes over, immediately fucking up the dance and adding their own weird thrillerness to it.
Get all Steiny in it.
Which was great, and I love that. Because
Yeah.
it was like, oh, of course they're dancing. It makes sense for the context.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, everybody else becomes possessed
Yep.
and starts dancing like it's Thriller.
And not just dancing like a Thriller. Every single person like starts out their dance with just unnatural like possession movements.
Yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal is just like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, yeah, you and me, buddy.
Yeah.
I would love to know. But as dumb as that was, I enjoyed the hell out of that scene because the whole point I started on, welcome to First Thoughts. We don't plan these conversations, they just go.
We get there eventually.
Was, if you want to make it wacky and weird, I am with it. I can fuck with that. I would have enjoyed this movie if the whole movie felt like that scene.
Yeah.
I would have fucked with it hard. I would have loved it.
It definitely would have been a lot better than what I
But they
saw.
didn't commit to it fully and did the weird, as you called it, artsy shit where it's black and white and a void. And, we've got, even when it's not black and white, it's like she has this dream sequence where she's floating up toward the ceiling and then she hits the ceiling so she falls back down. And then, now her head is in a glass case and she can't breathe. It's like all of these ideas are fine isolated, but it just had no place being in this movie. And I didn't know why we did it. I really didn't. Because what we ended up doing with the rest of the movie was like a wacky Bonnie and Clyde, which I loved.
Yeah, and going into this movie, I thought this was going to be like a Bonnie and Clyde Frankenstein take. And I was
Awesome.
kind of interested in what that was
Yes.
going to be like.
That's what I'm saying. This movie, when you just push all the bullshit away, there's fucking gold here. It's just buried, man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I enjoyed a lot about this movie. I did. It's just every good moment was surrounded by 3 shitty ones. Maybe not quite that ratio, but I was close.
Yeah. And like, if they even played up the Bonnie and Clyde angle more,
Yeah.
I feel like the ending could have
Have
worked
more
a bit
fun
better
with
too.
it. Yeah, also have a conversation that makes sense. Like her revelation is like, I'm no one's bride, I am the bride. And I'm like,
Duh.
what? Okay, so you're a woman, I guess, is what you're trying to say? That's unclear, but you keep saying it like it means something. Oh, and so you're rejecting his marriage proposal because no, I'd rather not. Were you joking because you're clearly obsessed with him and in love with him?
Yep.
So what the fuck was that about? And then, oh, by the way, where he got shot in the head, but we can bring him back to life. No, he needs a new brain. And if he has a new brain, he's not Frankie anymore. Do you forget that major plot point of the original story?
That they expressed like 5 minutes beforehand.
Right?
I brought my husband back, but he didn't remember me. He wasn't the same.
Yeah, what the fuck were we doing with that ending?
It is funny how they tried to, ham fist in the happiness ending.
Yeah, I felt like there was rewrites in this movie. Or not rewrites, like reshoots. Because several moments felt like they showed it and then people went, what was that? And then they did a reshoot. That's what it
I can
really
see
felt
that.
like.
This movie felt like it was supposed to end on a sadder note where
Yes.
she just can't get him back, and I don't know if she gets arrested or shot herself or
They
runs
both
away
just stay
or
dead.
something.
Would make sense.
Whatever it is.
Which, by the way, holy hell. So he's already dead. He's on the table. She's standing next to the table.
Yep.
The cops, about 20 of them at least, burst in. Each unload about 20 clips into her nonstop with, by the way, 1930s like revolvers, but they're all just emptying everything they have into her for like a minute. It felt like, I'm like, why are we still shooting? There were so many shots. There would be no body left.
She was a monster. We gotta keep
She's
going.
Revolting.
Yes. Listen, those cops took the lesson of the double tap, and they just, kept on applying.
Not one shot to the head, though. Not one shot to the head. Out of
Christian Bale.
50 million shots that went into her, none of them were to her head. All to the trunk.
Well, see, she wasn't standing still perfectly like that, facing away from them. So,
She was just standing there.
It was, okay. She wasn't kneeling down facing away.
Also, why does... Okay, here's another great point. So, feminism can kind of be boiled down to acting like a cat. Because the first act of rebellion she does is just knock shit off the table. And then they go, stop that. And she goes, nope, I'd rather not. And it's like, so you're just a cat? You're a fucking cat? That's what you use your womanly power to do?
Hey. Someone set a boundary on her.
Oh.
And she's not afraid to do
another
whatever
woman.
she can.
A doctor woman, by the way. I'm the doctor. You didn't expect that because I'm a woman.
Yep. And that's why when I first saw it, I didn't think it was going to completely go the feminist angle. I just thought it was going to be, something about them and their newfound freedom or something. And she's going to start converting him into being crazy.
Oh my God, if only there was a good story involved.
Nope, just had
Not
to go.
saying, like I said, you could do a good feminist story with this, easily. It's begging for there to be one. But maybe just, I don't know, be fucking subtle about it.
Yeah.
And nuanced. There's so much more to feminism than like, I don't want to do it because you told me to. I love you and I want to marry you, but you asked me, so no. It's like, what the fuck is that bullshit? So stupid. One of the worst written movies I have ever seen in my life.
Oh, gosh.
Except for like 30 minutes throughout.
Yeah.
But okay, so another reshoot, I swear was a reshoot, was so the Frankensteins go out on their first date together.
Right.
And they go to this club that I think she used to frequent because she seemed to be in these seedy, shady parts.
I think so, yeah. She seemed like she was an escort of some sort.
But all around, it's not Frankie's thing. So he's just going to sit back at a table served by his gay waiter. And because it's the 1930s.
Of course.
And watch her dance. Hey, not a bad night. Not a bad night at all. He's going to envision her in some like more sparkly outfits with less makeup on her face, but actually more makeup on her face, but not character makeup. And he's like chilling doing that, and then all of a sudden she's getting groped by one guy, which turns into a group of guys all taking advantage of her, and he comes in, and I'm like, oh, here comes the fight, and he just grabs her and they walk away. I'm like, what was that? There should have been something there. They even had the strobe light effect, and I'm like trying to figure out what the fuck I'm looking at, and it's like reminiscent of the Batman when he beats the shit out of people with the strobe light going.
Yeah.
A lot of action scenes happen that way, and I'm ready for when you don't put the strobe light there for no reason, and then they just didn't do anything with it, and I was like,
well, you see, the strobe light was just because it's in a club.
And I was like, that's just really weird, and just didn't make any sense. And then they're just walking, and that's how you can often tell when something's a reshoot, is you're just in some place walking. What's your motivation? I don't know. We're walking. You see that all the time in reshoots. It's hilarious. But so they're just walking. In this case, okay, they're exiting the club, sure, but it just feels completely detached. And then two new guys, not the same guys that were groping her inside, two other random guys we've never seen before. So they couldn't get the same extras as before. They just got two random guys to show up and start trying to rape her right in front of him.
Yeah.
And so then he goes, full Frankenstein's monster, and murders both of them. And it's like, okay, that was a really good moment, him murdering them. The lead up to it was a bit messy. It's like, this is such clearly, like, if it wasn't a reshoot, it's just really bad filmmaking. Because it's like, you should have done this over there. Why are we here doing this?
Well, listen. Clearly, they went, oh, that's going to be a great shot for the trailer. Let's use that instead.
Oh,
remember, that's that shot from the trailer.
I don't remember the trailer.
Well, that's the one shot I remember from the trailer is them in that alleyway and him stomping the people out. They didn't go that whole scene where you saw that like they were really attempting to rape her. I thought they were just harassing and he just
freaked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some really good moments, but they were sprinkled in there. Like, so after he murders the two guys, he's like, ah, shit, I've been here before, I know what I need to do, I need to run away. And he's like, I love you too much, so you have to leave, I'm gonna run away now. And he climbs up the wall and into his room, packs his bag, comes down, and she's just there waiting for him. And he's like, what the fuck? I was like, I like that moment. There was a lot of like cute moments with them.
Yeah.
And I wanted the whole movie to be that. And I don't know why it wasn't.
Them on the run for a movie being hunted would have been a much better
10
movie.
out of 10.
And is exactly where I thought it was going in that scene.
Should have been.
And then
like little moments too. Like, you know, they're on the run and they get somewhere and then he just like strips off and gets in the fountain. She's like, this is a weird time to take a bath.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm collecting coins because it's the 1930s and pennies are actually worth something. So I was like, that's cool. I like that a lot. There was a lot of really good moments with them. If the movie was just Christian Bale and Jesse Buckley on the train for an hour and a half, it would have been better than what we got.
Yeah.
Just them sitting there talking. By the way, the train. Holy fuck. I'm so glad I mentioned the train. Because it had the part that made me laugh more than anything else in this whole movie. I don't think it made you laugh because I don't think you thought about it in the way I did. Because you weren't laughing like I was laughing. So, okay. The train, they're suspected to be stuck on this train. So the cops make the train stop so they can search the train.
Right.
So they've got their flashlights, they've got their dogs, they're going, you know, cart to cart. They decide not to check their cart for whatever reason. I mean, they like look in it, but they're talking about something.
He was clearly being lazy.
Yeah. And it's like Christian Bale's head is clearly poking out, and he just doesn't look at it, at the zombie head right there. And he's just like, whatever. They close it up, and the train starts going again. After a minute of conversation, the train's going, picking up speed.
Yep.
I forget what reference he makes. Something about, like, her being like an actress in a movie, and so she starts singing a song from the movie or something. I forget exactly what happens. But she starts singing. Also, meanwhile, Mary Shelley's like, stop singing, bitch. And she's like, no, I want to sing. So she's singing and shouting. A cop outside the train, still, miles down the rail.
He was probably just hanging on or something. Yeah.
Hanging on? They were not there. They were over here, the train stopped, and they were searching. They're not with the train. The train has moved on, and he is sprinting at 30 miles an hour so that he can hear somebody singing in that train cart. And he goes, who's singing in there? Where the fuck are you?
No, you know what? They just had a line of cops down the tracks.
And they went like, somebody singing. You jump on. Okay, got it. Like, that scene boggled my mind. That's what nobody else was laughing. I'm losing my shit because I'm like, who the fuck are you? You're just sprinting alongside a train. Granted, it's probably not full speed yet, but it's at least like 15, 20 or more miles per hour. And he's just like, somebody's singing in that train.
It's definitely not the 5 feet down the road they want us to believe it is.
No! And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Listen, he's super cop. Right?
Apparently.
Super hearing, super speed.
Super observant.
Yeah, he's super observant. The other guy is super unobservant. Right?
Just one of the absolute, like, you only see that in 1-star movies. Nobody else is making that kind of mistake. That's just like, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. Oh my god.
The ending is just so dumb. Just literally minutes after she gives the doctor gives the whole speech of
it won't work.
Yeah, it won't work. I brought my husband back, but he didn't remember me. They get double shocked. They both give you a little sign that they came back to life.
Hey, I don't know. If I woke up, regardless of memories, and there was a woman laying on top of me, I'd probably be like, hey.
Listen. If they had shown a little further and they didn't remember each other, and it's just like...
That's the point. It's a movie. You cut it off then.
Yeah, no,
There's a saying about movies. Every movie's a sad ending if you don't end it in time. Every movie. That's not quite the saying. I butchered it, but like you get the idea.
No, I get it. It's just... I just hate that sort of shit. It's just, it's so stupid. It's like, let's give them this really happy ending. They could have, they could remember everything, and if they don't, they might,
Love finds a way. It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. They don't need to remember each other to be in love.
And, that could have also been an alright movie, but,
I think that's probably what they meant by it, but certainly didn't show it.
I figure that's what they meant, but, just having them, grab each other's hands real quick,
I can't accept the fact that he's alive, because he has a hole in his brain.
No, yeah.
Also, by the way, I was going to say this and I forgot. If you're going to pick a cadaver, why would you pick the one with a broken neck and a broken leg and a broken skull? I feel like that's really hard to fix. Her neck was fine. Well, the only thing broken was her leg, and they just snapped a Dark Knight Rises knee brace on her, and she was cool.
Turns out you just need to twist some things around and get some electricity in there. I bet she probably just slapped a Band-Aid over the holes in his head, and he was cool in the end.
Yeah. I love, because we made fun of the science mumbo-jumbo in Frankenstein. Yeah. In this, the science mumbo-jumbo, they just, walked away from, because she's explaining everything she's doing to the doctor. And she just walks over here, and then we just okay, bye. You keep explaining that to the fucking machinery. Have fun.
The bride did not need to care about that.
No.
Right. But then, the other thing that we've definitely talked to death, but I just had these two stupid points about, because we haven't talked specifically about how bad the ending of that part was. The fucking officers. Listen, the beginning of it, though, I will say, I stupidly did my wonderful thing of giving the story way more credit for a second.
Yeah.
There was something they said for a split second that made me think, oh, she's not the secretary?
Yeah.
That's just an angle they're doing so they can get some information.
Because, it actually made sense where it's all right, we're a couple of detectives, and she's the higher ranking one, but she pretends to not be, and then he goes around and, buddies up to cops, so they say shit to him. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
For 3 seconds, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And then, no, it's just, she's actually the secretary, and he's just either a really bad cop now or has always been a really bad cop, and she's just really good, but no one will take her seriously because she's a woman and she's not a cop right now.
And he's an ally in words only, because he always says the right thing but then never follows through.
Yep.
And it's just what is this commentary? Because we can't actually have any good men. They all have to be shitty for some reason or another.
But after it finally all falls apart from him, and after all his stuff is finally exposed with her, I
decided I'd step away on one condition. I get to choose my replacement. And it's easy.
Insert the badge. Oh my gosh, it is
Imagine
the most.
doing that to your boss. It's all right, fine, I'll quit, but only if I get to pick who you hire to replace me. They'd be like, no, but, you're fired.
Yeah, how about I just fire? You've been sucking recently anyway. Yeah. You telling me she got all your stuff? It's what do I need you for? Let me pair her with somebody else, see if she can still solve some crimes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, just here's my badge. You're a detective now. And then not only if they just ended it there, it still would have been the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But they had to push it even further and have her use it. Have her stand in a room, multiple rooms, full of male officers that disregard her, only for them to ask who she is to pull out the badge. You can leave officers.
This is the detective scene now. Well, where's the detective? I don't see no detective. There's only a woman in front of me. That couldn't be the detective.
She's right here. Oh my God. Telling you, I don't know if it's Lifetime or just a really bad plot where that character is supposed to be the main character of some TNT CBS Sherlock Plus TV show, or maybe it was a Nickelodeon.
I was gonna say
Disney Channel show. Actually, you're right. That is probably a Disney Channel plot there.
Yeah,
that is a definitely Disney Channel movie plot.
Grande
oh my gosh, yes, Nickelodeon or Disney straight to DVD movie. That is the exact plot there. They just condensed it into 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
Yep.
Okay, I remembered another part I liked. The overall scene in general, I wanted them to do a lot more with, but when she bit the guy's tongue out, I liked that. I thought that was a cool moment.
Hmm.
But it was weird because it was supposed to be like an empowering moment for her, and her empowering moment was bending over and letting Christian Bale shoot the guy. And I was like,
yeah, I thought
I thought she was gonna like kick him and then spin around
no,
and
I
punch him.
very much thought she was gonna completely take care of the first guy that was groping her. I thought, and then Christian Bale would take out the partner because they show him, noticing that the partner's there.
Yeah.
And I just figured she'd start, he'd just turn around, but no, they have him kill both of them.
Yeah.
And then, well, her rip out the tongue eventually, but have to relatively get saved by him.
And I like how they had like, I thought they were tongue candies at the end, but maybe they were the tongues that they got out of the jars that I didn't notice. But like they were all getting the tattoo of the thing, and then they got the Harvey Weinstein guy.
Yeah.
They gave him the tattoo, and he's surrounded by these tongues. I thought it was just like, I thought they were candies. I don't know if they are or not anymore.
Yeah, that might have been the real tongues there. I noticed them more prominently when he was ordering them to get rid of her tongue.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
Jesus Christ, what a scene.
Oh, God.
Only a true genius could come up with that scene.
No, I mean,
I really thought when I saw Jake
magnificent.
Gyllenhaal the first time Christian Bale was at... I never finished my point. So, okay. I've did that so many times in this video. Bear with me. So, okay. First, I'll finish what I just started saying. But when I first saw Jake Gyllenhaal, you see him in the theater of the, there's a movie playing that Christian Bale is at. And I was like, oh, that's cute. She put her brother in it, and he's supporting his big sister making her movie. That's cute. And then he went to another movie. And it was Jake Gyllenhaal again. I was like, okay, you can go away. This is weird. To another movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. And then he was at a party, and I heard Jake Gyllenhaal's voice. I'm like, fuck. And then he turns around, and he's there, like, yep, there he is. Yeah. I was like, go away. We don't need you. But I started to say this. So we have this whole thing, like I mentioned at the party. Jake Gyllenhaal rejects him and says, you're not my type. And he says it in a joking, condescending way. So at first you're not sure if Frankenstein's going to quite grasp it. But he does end up getting upset. He throws the tray and then goes into the dance. And then there's the standoff and then he leaves. And so I'm like, man, he really is going to hate Jake Gyllenhaal now. Nope. They keep going back to Jake Gyllenhaal movies. I'm like, he should be really upset by the sight of him now.
No, because he got to dance,
No, he should hate him now.
Heck,
Because he rejected him.
Yeah, that should have carried forward, and that would have made more sense. But, no, they danced, and so that's all cool now. He gets to keep his ideal in his mind version of him.
Terrible. Terrible writing. Absolutely dog shit writing. Christian, Mr. Bale, you are maybe the best actor alive. I love you so much. Even in dog shit movies, you're at least okay. Pick better movies, man. You used to pick great movies consistently. I feel like the last 3 times I've seen you was this, dog shit. Amsterdam, dog shit. Thor, Love and Thunder, dog shit. Just stop. Do something good. Maybe there's something else in between. Oh yeah, the Pale Blue Eye or whatever. Not great. That's like 4 bad movies in a row if I'm remembering correctly.
He's going for once every decade, good movie.
Don't
pace.
do that. Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
That's his ideal for some reason.
But I think that means Christian Bale has completed his Brokeback Mountain arc here. He worked with Heath Ledger and now Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh gosh.
Has he ever been in a Jake Gyllenhaal movie before? I don't think I've ever seen. I did think that because I was like, 2 of like my favorite modern actors finally on the screen together. Because I don't think they've been in anything together before. Maybe they have, but if they have, I don't remember seeing it. I was just like, oh, I love both of these guys. And then I'm standing there watching Jake Gyllenhaal do one of the worst performances of his career, and Christian Bale dancing, and I'm like, huh. This is not how I envisioned this moment.
Nope. That's all you're gonna get now.
Oh well. Alright, I think we're done.
That's fair.
I have to say something. Apple, why do you hate gay people? Apple Podcast has still not published our review of Pillion. Both
Apple
and Spotify will both hold podcast to do an internal review of it before posting it, but Spotify does it usually the same day. Apple does it the same day a lot, but I've noticed that they hold it a day or two sometimes.
Yeah.
It's been a full week, and they haven't allowed Pillion. And Spotify took, I think, 2 days to allow Pillion.
Damn.
I know we said some shit. It wasn't anything that bad. You guys are just homophobic.
Trying to cancel us? Come on.
What the fuck? I was just like, it's still not on Apple Podcasts. So if you listen on Apple, check it out on YouTube or whatever, because it's up there still. That went up live immediately. That YouTube doesn't give a shit about what we say, apparently. It's always live immediately.
Google's never cared.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, fuck you, DoorDash. So, okay. I got off work at like 5:15.
Yeah.
Which was earlier than I expected. So I was like, I was planning on driving here straight away. And I was like, no, I can drive home and change. Thank God, because I didn't think about this when I left this morning. So I don't have to wear my white collar and jeans to a movie. This is great. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm 45 minutes from home. That's how long it says a DoorDash will take. And I don't have to leave home for another 15 minutes after that. So even if I need a 15-minute cushion, we're great. So I order DoorDash when I'm leaving for home, thinking that I'm going to get there around the same time the food gets there. I'm 10 minutes from home, and I check. They say, your food's ready. The Dasher is on their way. And I check, and the Dasher is about equal distance from the store as I am from home. I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. I'll get home, change, come out, grab the food, go. And so then I get home, and I check. They are still the same distance from the store. And so I'm like, it's not going to be here in time. It's not. So then I change and I check. They still haven't moved. So I message DoorDash and I say, I need a new Dasher. I need you to remove this person and give it to somebody else. And they say, oh, we don't do that. I'm like, they haven't moved for half an hour.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't do that? And they're like, oh, we don't do that. I'm like, well, do it. Do it now. And then they say no. And I say, okay, well, I need you to cancel this. And they're like, but they're on their way. I'm like, not to me, they're not. You need to cancel this. And they're like, we won't. And I'm like, okay. Yes, you need to cancel it and give me a refund. And they say, no, we won't do that because it's on its way. And so I eventually get to talk to a real person, because this is all AI bullshit.
Oh, God.
And so I eventually talk to a real person. I say, you need to cancel this because I am currently leaving my house and I will not be here when it gets here. So after about a 10-minute waiting of them saying, we're working on it, they go, okay, cool. All right, we canceled it. I'm like, okay, refund? And they're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. And I'm like, what do you mean, maybe? So I'm getting, like, into the parking lot when this happens. And they're like, okay, yeah, all right, we couldn't do the refund, but here we gave you credit. And it's for $14. The order was $25.
Damn.
I'm like, okay. So why $14? And they're like, well, that's how much the food costs. I'm like, cool. Well, clearly there was a delivery fee. I tipped ahead of time because if you don't, people won't bring you your food on DoorDash.
Yeah.
And there's, all the fees and shit and whatever. I'm like, okay, so where's the rest of my money?
Right.
And they're like, oh, yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. I'm like, no, you won't. You'll give it to me because I'm not tipping somebody who didn't bring me food.
Yeah.
And so then they gave me $7 more. I'm like, okay. We're closer. At this point, I'm just petty because there's only $4 more to be gained. But I'm like, you're going to give me my money back.
Yeah.
And so I am in the theater texting in my seat, like, give me my money. Finally do. So that,
Damn.
I would say I'd never use DoorDash again, but I have $20-some on there that I need to use. But what the fuck, DoorDash? Just give me my food, give me my money, and leave me alone.
Nah, that's too
And
hard.
fuck you, Apple. All right, bye, guys. Oh, God, fuck.